Word is going around that OhGeesy and his crew jumped Drex the Joint and 4 of his homies, and if reports are to be believed, it was pretty one-sided. So basically, OhGeesy was headlining this festival in Ontario, California called Who Want the Smoke, and it looks like maybe the answer was Drex the Joint, who was also one of the performers on the festival. A bunch of different outlets are reporting that OhGeesy and a crew of 50, although some are saying it's 25, so let's just say a large number of goons jumped Drex and 4 of his friends at some point during the concert. There's no footage from the event, so it's really unclear what happened or if it even took place, but many commenters are claiming that they saw it happening, with some suggesting that the giant brawl took place backstage, which is why there's no fan footage. Some even suggested OhGeesy and his crew tried to Drakeo Drex, probably because of the numbers advantage. Drakeo the Ruler was an up-and-comer whose life was tragically ended in a similar setting at the Once Upon a Time in LA festival, where 40 to 60 men in masks jumped him and his brother, stabbing Drakeo fatally in the neck. That pretty much brought an end to the festival, with headliners Snoop Dogg, YG, 50 Cent, and Ice Cube all canceling their performances. Coincidentally, OhGeesy actually happened to be performing at that same festival on a different stage when Drakeo was unalive.
Were you there at that festival that day?
Yeah, I was there. Well, we were supposed to perform on the same stage.
Wow, so you were there at a different part of the venue?
Yeah, I was performing as everything happened. When I got off stage, it was like, everybody gotta leave.
While the Drakeo comparison seems uncalled for because this seems like it might have been a misunderstanding turned good old-fashioned brawl, OhGeesy is no stranger to violence at his shows, with plenty of clips of online fights breaking out at various Shoreline Mafia performances. My personal favorite is this really old clip where they're playing someone's backyard or something, and I guess some punk throws a Sprite on the stage, which is barely a stage, and then a brawl breaks out, but it's the funniest brawl ever, with OhGeesy completely whiffing a punch at some point.
Who threw a Sprite up here?
What? No, you get the f*** on my pussy!
Hey, I'm off, nigga. Who tripping? Nobody, nigga.
We from LA, EU, nigga.
I like the Shoreline Mafia, but that video did not go as hard as they thought it did at the time. None of these dumb brawls do. In fact, in his most recent interview on No Jumper, OhGeesy seemed to be on a different type of timing, preaching peace and love between all the warring hoods.
Honestly, I feel like in a perfect world, we should all be united. We all the same, bro. When I meet some different hoods that beef with each other, like, bro, we're all the same. We tell the same jokes. We like the same bitches. We wear the same clothes. Like, it just gets misconstrued. Like,
so what exactly got misconstrued between OhGeesy and Drex the Joint? That's what fans are speculating about, with some thinking the youngin' Drex might have been a little too cocky and not paying his dues to the older, more established rapper. This one guy goes, "Mexican acting black jumps a black guy acting Mexican is crazy." Now that would have gone pretty hard, except Drex is 100% Mexican. Like, his parents emigrated from Guerrero and don't speak much English Mexican.
You speak Spanish?
That's my person. You haven't been hearing me?
Nah.
It's his first language.
What? There's no way.
Bro, his parents don't speak English.
Gusta, cerveza.
Dude's as Mexican as they come. So it definitely comes as a surprise that OhGeesy's beefing with him, given his affinity with Mexican rappers.
I like how like they all embrace me and I embrace them back. Like all the Mexican artists,
Yeah.
they heavily embrace me.
Question is, did Drex embrace OhGeesy, or in this instance, did their similarities become the obstacle? On Drex's most recent No Jumper interview, Adam brought up how OhGeesy kinda changed the game for how Mexican rappers are perceived, and complimented Drex, saying he's got a similar thing going for him. While Drex did not outright contradict Adam, he also did not seem to agree with the comparison, insisting that he's even more unique.
They totally like reshaped how people were comfortable seeing a Mexican rapper from LA rap, because they hadn't really seen somebody like OhGeesy or whatever who, you know, was into fashion, was into the skate shit, was into the graffiti shit, was clearly still like trapping in his past life and everything like that, into, you know, rocking Supreme and of what it is to be a young Mexican kid from out here. I feel like you have like a similar allure where it's like it doesn't feel like something that we just seen over and over.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like with me though, it's like so many shit you have, like we see you have like so many, we like hear about me, you have so many shit like you you have so many questions about me. You're like black and Mexican. You're like dark skinned, but you're Mexican. You have so many questions about me, you know, and that's what makes me like more like, you know, like more extra about it, you know. And then that's really like special, you know.
Now, there's a degree of conjecture here, but if Drex was flattered by the OhGeesy comparison, he would have said so. But if that clip is anything to go by, he did not seem to love it. But the fact is, while their skin colors might be polar opposite, these guys have way more in common than not. They're both Mexican rappers from rough hoods in California who overcame a ton of obstacles to find success. Also, they both drop N-bombs at will and spark a lot of controversy over it. So if they are indeed brawling instead of collabing, that does suck. What do you think, though?